Tēnā koutou katoa, everyone, and welcome to the University of Otago Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences webinar. My name is Victoria McInerney, and I'm from the International Marketing and Recruitment team, and I'm emceeing the webinar today.
Hello, my name is Associate Professor Matlub Hussain, and I'm the Co-Director of Biomedical Sciences Program.
Hello, I'm Matthew Bradley, and I'm a third-year student specialising in genetics.
Thank you. It's lovely to have you both here. We've got quite an agenda to get through today, so I'm going to just get straight into it. So first up is why Otago, the University of Otago. The University of Otago is New Zealand's oldest university. It was established in 1869, so we've been teaching students for nearly 156 years now. We're in the top 1% of higher education institutes in the world, and we're very proud that we can say that we're New Zealand's top performing university for student academic education performance. So we might be research intensive, but we take our teaching incredibly seriously. And very importantly, 96% of our graduates go on to work or further study. So the University of Otago is ranked 197th in the world and the second highest ranked university in New Zealand. We have 7 subjects ranked in the top 100 for the QS subject rankings. And out of the last 12 years, we've won 8 Prime Minister's Supreme Award for Teaching Excellence, and with 5-star plus for international quality. With our Otago subject rankings, we're a very renowned university, and we have subjects across all the different divisions. But I just want to pick out a few, and one of them is that anatomy and physiology. It's ranked 35th best in the world, and we'll be sort of talking about these subjects when we're talking more about our Bachelor of Biomedical Science today. But we're a very well-rounded university. Some little unique selling propositions you might not know is that we're the only university to offer dentistry and surveying, and we're only one of 2 medical schools in the country which biomedical science sits under. We're a residential collegiate university, which means 86% of our students come from outside Dunedin and around the world to basically live and study in the beautiful city of Dunedin and on and around the campus. We've got over 160 student-led clubs and societies, so even though as you're studying, there's a lot for you to do outside of those study hours. And we have over 5,000 academic and professional staff, so the ratio of staff to students is very good. On something I'm very proud of, and you might not know, we're also the 17th most photographic or photogenic university in the world. And it's very, very beautiful to be here. So why biomedical sciences at Otago? First of all, our Division of Health Sciences is made up of 5 different schools or faculties. We have the School of Medical Sciences, Faculty of Dentistry, Otago School of Medicine, School of Pharmacy, and School of Physiotherapy. We are home to the largest and the oldest medical school in New Zealand. We are the only dental school in New Zealand ranked 40th in the world, and we are home to the oldest pharmacy school in New Zealand as well. All our research active staff are world leaders in their fields, and we have one here today. And something that we're very proud of as well, Otago University produced the first female medical graduate in Australasia, and we have a lot more notable alumni as well. As well as those beautiful buildings that you see around campus, we have state-of-the-art facilities. And as you can see here in this image is the Mallow Labs, which as first years, you'll spend an awful lot of time in. As I said before, we are research active, and there's lots of opportunities for students, even at undergraduate level, to get involved in the different research groups across the Division of Health Sciences. But let's get into it, and let's get into biomedical sciences and what there is to offer. I'll hand it over to you, Malcolm.
Thank you, Victoria. So Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences, or short BBiomed Science, a 3-year degree program. So what is unique about this degree? It is actually an interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary degree. And in this degree, basically, you will learn about the web of life, basically fundamentals of human biology, health, and well-being. And then at the same time, something goes wrong with the health, like causes and diagnosis and remedies of human diseases, common diseases like cancer, diabetes, COVID-19, we just had a pandemic, and then flu is still around, and tuberculosis and other brain and heart disorders. So in Bachelor of Science degree, you have different majors in health sciences discipline, basically genetics, biochemistry, anatomy, physiology, and some sciences discipline, nutrition, for example. And also when things go wrong we have microbial infections, so we have microbiology and immunology, for example, how the innate immune system or immune response occur to microbial infections, and then what is the disease pathology and pharmacology. So these disciplines, basically in a Bachelor of Science degree, you have individual BSc majors for these disciplines. But the great thing about the Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences, in this degree, you learn about it all, in one degree.
Okay, that's really interesting. Yeah. Wow.
So, the degree structure. So basically, the structure is very similar to what other degrees we have at the University of Otago. Basically, you pass 20 papers and total 360 points. So we have a paper structure which we give to our students. So the best thing about this degree that once the student get the admission to this degree, we have basically a proper paper structure for them, so they don't have to worry about anything. So we have, for example, at 100 level, we have 7 papers. We have 5+2 structure in those papers. Basically, 5 are core papers and 2 are elective papers. So basically, students can take any of those 2 papers.
Okay.
At 200 level, we have again 7 papers, but 6+1 structure. So 6 are core papers or required papers and 1 optional paper. And 300 level, we have more flexibility, a little bit less workload, 6 papers and 4+2 structure, basically 4 core papers and 2 optional papers. So in this degree, basically students join the degree in first year, and then they take these 7 papers, and when they go on to the second year, then in that they choose a major, which we have Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences degree in 6 majors, which we will explain in the next slide.
Okay, so papers are, in other universities, they might call them modules, they might call them units, correct? That's at Otago, the terminology is a paper. Yeah,
it's papers, okay. and they are coded 100 level, basically first year papers,
first year,
200 level papers,
second year,
second
300.
Year, 300 level,
nice and easy. So it's almost like a sort of a pyramid where you're getting that kind of foundation, that base of 7 papers, 5+2 in your first year, and then you start to sort of decide to go what interests you, and then start to specialize. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, semester 2, a little bit different. Yeah.
So we have made some changes from next year. So we have brought more flexibility to the degree. Before, until this year, students can only get the admission in the first semester, starting of the year. But we have made it a bit more flexible from next year. So students, for example, Southeast Asia, where the academic year finishes in the middle of the year, so they will be eligible to join the program in the second semester. Sometime starting in July. So that is more flexibility for them. In addition to that, we also have flexibility for students. For example, some students come to New Zealand, come to Otago to do health sciences first year. So that is basically 100 level papers they will be taking described in the previous slide. So if those students, they have done health sciences first year and they are not interested in the professional program, so what they can do, they can actually complete their health sciences first year and get the admission into this degree in second year.
Excellent. So second semester is a July intake. The first semester is February. So the University of Otago, we have 2 semesters, February or July. So an option for everyone, depending on when you graduate from your high school. That's great. Yeah. And even July, you can finish it within 3 years.
Yes. So we have actually, so as you can see, so we have as I cannot emphasize enough, that we have worked to create this paper structure for students. They don't need to worry about it. Once they come to Otago, we'll take care of them. We have proper structure. Fantastic. We have sheets available, and they can refer to those sheets when they are selecting the papers. Okay. So they don't need to worry about that.
That's one thing I love about the University of Otago is the support that's given to the students.
We provide them all the academic help as well as other support you will be talking about later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, first year.
Yeah, so this is a little bit more about the 100-level papers or first-year papers, for example. So there are 5 core papers. They're common between health sciences first year and biomedical sciences first year. So basically we have these 5 papers covers pretty much everything from the cellular and molecular biology to all the way to human body systems and also foundations in biochemistry, chemistry, etc. So these 5 papers give the broad foundation to students to move on to the second year of the degree and choose their major. And you can see that there are additional 36 points. Basically, these 36 points basically align to those 2 papers mentioned earlier in the slides. So these 36 points or 2 papers, the reason we are saying 2 papers and 36 points, because at Otago, most of the papers are 18 points. So students can take any of those points towards any other papers, for example, music, art.
Music.
Yeah, why not?
Wow.
Sports.
So outside the division.
Yeah, outside the division,
Gosh.
They can go anywhere in any department of the university, in any division, and they can take these 2 papers.
I think that's a big difference between the University of Otago and a lot of universities overseas, where it's very, you got to keep within the Division of Health Sciences, but you can, here at Otago, take your biomed sci and take some papers of interest that you might have enjoyed at school, which is great.
Yeah.
Something for especially high school students, do they need to have passed maths or have done maths at school?
No, it's not required. No, not for the Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences degree. But if they have it, so it's a bonus. But we don't require any kind of those restrictive qualifications like maths, physics, chemistry. I mean, we encourage students to have the background in chemistry because we have a paper here.
Right, yes.
It's still, if they don't have it, we won't refuse them entry.
Okay, fantastic.
So, so these are the 6 majors the degree is offered in. So students will choose the major in the second year once they pass those 5 papers and plus 2 papers. So these majors are interdisciplinary. Basically, one major is basically have papers from different disciplines to design in such a way that the major is cross or multidisciplinary. So drugs and human health, functional human biology, infection and immunity, molecular basis of health and diseases, nutrition and metabolism in human health, and reproduction, genetics, and development. So these majors have been designed in such a way, they are multidisciplinary, and they are also quite separated from each other as well.
Okay. Does a student need to know what they want to major in when they apply for biomed sci?
Not really. They just come in and they come in and get the admission in the first year, and they'll have plenty of time. They'll have plenty of advice available to them to choose their major. And most of the students, when they come to the program, they don't need help because by the time they are finishing their first year, they have already decided that which major they want to choose.
So they've almost found their passion, what they're interested in.
Yeah.
That's great.
And there's one more thing. Students actually in second year can actually choose more than one major. They can choose 2 majors. And so the papers are cross-credited. So they don't need to take more papers to
it's not a bigger workload.
No. 7 or 8 papers, but to do 2 majors, they cannot choose those 2 elective papers. So they have to choose the papers which are required for these majors. And then they can take 2 majors in the second year. And then moving forward, if they think like that one of the other major is more interested to them, then they can keep that major and then drop the other major.
Okay, that's really interesting. Once again, that flexibility coming through. It's great. Because I know probably as a young person coming into university, it's pretty hard to know what you want to do at the age of 18, and it's very different to high school. Okay, so we're now going to
so just a little bit more about the drugs and human health major. So basically, this major is focused on, as the name suggests, drugs and human health, how drugs work. So we take medicine and then how do they actually work and how they are formulated and what is their kinetics. So students will basically learn about all about drug, for example, toxicology, their kinetic safety, and how drugs are translated, repurposed, and then how they are designed, and then how the clinical trials are done. So this is the paper structure of the drugs and human health, as I highlighted before, that we have designed this paper structure so students don't need to worry about it. So there are papers, they have to take compulsory papers
Right.
in the on the
Yellow,
top, 200 level papers highlighted in yellow, and then there are elective papers highlighted in blue. So students don't need to take all of those papers. So they have to take 3 top papers and then two papers from the list below.
Okay.
And then same thing at the 300 level, 2 compulsory papers on the top, and then 2 papers from the list to complete the requirement. Nevertheless, students can also choose those 2 elective papers from this list, so there is no restriction.
Okay.
They don't have to choose those elective papers from any other discipline. If they are interested to take those 2 papers, then they can take those 2 papers from these list.
And probably more importantly, there is staff there that will help them before they choose those papers to make
just
sure.
to highlight, I think it's a good idea to highlight that here, that for each major, we have a course advisor, and that is dedicated to that major.
Okay.
So they are always available on call to help the student.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Great.
So that's the second major, functional human biology. It focuses more on the anatomical and physiological pathways and how they are interlinked. And then it provides the basically overview of those pathways and things can go wrong and how, physiology and anatomy works when people, have certain disease or disorder.
Okay.
And again, the similar structure, but different papers.
Yes.
Because this major focuses on functions of the human biology. So there are compulsory papers listed on the tops and then elected papers at the bottom. So students can choose the elected papers from the bottom, but they have to take the papers listed on the top.
Gotcha.
Infection immunity is slightly different. It's basically all about infectious diseases and what is the response to those diseases. The people get the disease and then there is a immune response. So it's all about learning about the interplay between infectious agents like bacteria, viruses, fungi, and then how body responds to them. At the same time, there is also focus on antibiotic resistance.
Okay.
It's a big problem right now, and in the future. And this major also focuses on vaccine development, knowledge of the vaccine.
Wow.
At the same time, there's the latest initiative to treat cancer using the immunotherapy. So there's also focuses on immunotherapy. Again, similar structure of the major in terms of the paper, but papers are different. Core papers, some papers are from microbiology department and basically focuses on microbial infections and immunology and also pathology. So similar structures, different papers, but students need to select 3 core papers or compulsory papers and then elective papers.
Okay.
So this major delves into more about the molecular basis of things, like if things are going wrong with the human biology, then what is the molecular basis to understand that at gene level, what went wrong, so people got that disease. So this it's also about how molecules interact with each other, how cells interact with each other, and then when things go wrong with the molecular interactions and cellular physiology, and then people get the certain diseases, and then what is the cause of that, and then what is the remedy of that.
Almost sort of like the detective of the
pretty
hospital
much
system.
But at the molecular level,
Right.
very deep,
Wow.
as the graphic suggests on the right.
Okay.
Again, similar structure, but different papers. 3 core papers, 3 compulsory papers, and then elective papers at 200 level. But at 300 level, there are 3 papers the students need to select out of those 4. So this is a slight deviation from other majors, because this major focuses on molecular basis. So we have 3 compulsory papers and then 1 elective papers from the list below.
And all these papers are on our website as well. So I know it's very small, but please go to our website, and under the webpage for Bachelor of Biomedical Science, you can look at these papers. Click on the hyperlinks that'll take you into sort of a deeper understanding of, say, what gene 222 is, for example.
Yeah, so this is a cross division major between Health Sciences Division and Sciences Division. So as the name suggests, that nutrition and metabolism, that what we need to eat or take care of, or that how our diet is metabolized, what is the metabolism, and how, we go about, digesting things and everything. So this paper, this major, focuses more on the nutritional side of things, energy balance, and also exercise, physiology as well. So we do have papers, from physical education department in this major. Similar structure, there are more options. As I mentioned, that there are papers from biochemistry department, human nutrition, very cross-disciplinary, but similar structure, 3 compulsory papers and 2 elective papers at 200 level, and 2 papers at 300 level, and then elective papers at 300 level.
So some students could be sitting, when they go to some of these papers, with students that are actually doing a different degree, a Bachelor of Science just in human nutrition or physical education, as you're saying. So you end up meeting lots of different students in these different papers.
Yeah, so there is a lot of
crossover
between students. Sometime that Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences students actually taking the same paper with other students, other divisions, other departments. So there's a lot of interaction between students at that time. So this degree provides a very broad knowledge to students.
Okay, that's great. Gosh, keeps going.
Yeah, so that's the 6th major, which is reproduction, genetics, and development. It's the whole breadth of things like reproduction. I don't need to explain that, and then how genes or genetics involve in the reproduction, and how genes and genetics involve in the development, all the way from the conception to embryo formation, and then further development, and then how genes basically shape the life.
Okay.
So
I'll bring in Matt just at this moment as well. You've been very quiet here. So Matt, this is how you sort of specialised, didn't you? You did the first year of the Biomed Sci, found your passion.
Yeah,
tell us your journey, basically, in a little
So I grew up in Dubai and then moved over to Otago. It's amazing. And I thought that this program in itself really would give me the foundational basis, whilst also giving me the autonomy to choose what I wanted to do, but everything wasn't on me. So I came to Otago knowing that I was really interested in biology in a human health context, except it was really scary going in thinking that, oh my gosh, this is all on me. I have to figure everything out. But the fact that biomedical science is it's got such a wide coverage, really let me find out in first year that genetics is what I wanted to do, whilst exposing me to everything else.
Okay, that's great. And these are some of the papers.
Yeah, so finally, just similar structure, different papers. So again, this information, as Victoria said, all available on the website. You can click the link of each paper, and then you will have the whole page to read about this paper, each paper, that what is the paper all about, what are the major focus, and what they're teaching and who's teaching.
Okay. Ooh, very important. So I've come to study a Biomed Sci. What are my career opportunities? What's my bang for my buck? Am I needed out there?
Because of the degree is so broad, so the opportunities are also broad. There are a bunch of opportunities. Once students finish their degree, they can go on to multiple pathways. There are one of my favorite pathways is basically research pathway when you become a scientist, a professor like myself. So that is a natural pathways for some students who are really interested in discovering things, doing research, and move on to become a professor. So that's listed there on the left. But before that, many students are still interested in professional programs like medicine and dentistry. So some students, for example, health sciences first year students, they go on to these 2 professional programs. So if they do Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences degree, they're actually better prepared to go into medicine through graduate entry pathway, because many of us teach into medicine, and many of our students have actually gone to medicine and dentistry. So that is the first pathway. The reason it's listed first there because many students are motivated to do that, so they will keep that option after finishing that degree. And then the one on the left, the research pathway, basically academic jobs. So just to simplify that, what are the destination are actually listed at the bottom in the yellow box: academic jobs, bench jobs, desk jobs, traveling jobs, and teaching jobs. Just to simplify that.
Nice.
But the pathways to that for the first one, academic jobs, students, they can do either Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences honors degree. So this degree is a unique degree. This is a one-year postgraduate degree, basically purely basis on research. There is no paper. So students pick a supervisor, and they can do this. They can pick the supervisor from anywhere in Dunedin campus. We also have this program in Christchurch campus and Wellington campus. So while students are studying Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences, a 3-year degree program, they are getting to know these professors who are teaching them these papers. They interact with them, and majority of these professors, including myself, we are research active. We have research lab, and we have students in the lab. We have research projects. So students can contact the supervisor or the research they're interested in, and then they're offered a Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences honors project. There's a requirement for that B+ average, but that can be explained later. So once they finish the degree, then they can always go back to the job market. But if they're not interested, they can go on and do masters and PhD, which is, they don't need to go anywhere. They can do it at Otago, either masters in biomedical sciences or PhD in any discipline in any of those majors. And then they become a scientist or a professor, and then go on to have a long and, very satisfying research and teaching career. But it's slightly a longer pathway, but it's worth
good things come to those that way.
Definitely. But many students who want to go to the job market, they have done the study for 3 years. They just feel like, I think I have done enough at the university. I need to go out and explore my options. So there are jobs like research assistant, like lab technicians, and these kind of jobs are available anywhere in the world, including at Otago and many places in New Zealand, like research institutes. So we have Crown Research Institutes, we have universities, we have a small startup biotech companies.
Quite a few in Dunedin, aren't
quite
there?
a few in Dunedin, and Christchurch is expanding. The whole Canterbury area is expanding there. Actually, a couple of my students who actually graduated with bachelor's degree, they have gone to get these jobs. So these are entry-level jobs, around, I would say, probably $60,000, $70,000 New Zealand dollars per annum. So these research assistant lab technician jobs are available all over New Zealand. Not much competition, because many new companies or even established companies, they require a bigger workforce. So these jobs are available quite easily. They can also work in allied health, for example, like hospital. In hospital, other than doctors, there are other staff as well,
Lots.
other than doctors and nurses. So that's what I meant with allied health. For example, let's just say a functional human biology major student can become that ECG machine, ECG technician, how to operate that, how to read that machine. So those are the allied health jobs. Some of our students have gone to optometry. They become optometrists. So they are there, and not just in New Zealand, but also overseas. And then other options are food and wine industry. New Zealand is perfect for that. So students can be employed in dairy, meat, or poultry industry. There's a big wine industry in North Island, I think.
On the Central Otago.
On the Central Otago. So these are basically bench jobs. Means like you're working in a research lab, on a research bench, handling samples, pipettes, and doing actual experiments. Okay. In touch with the samples. So these are the bench jobs. But many students say, well, I don't want to handle the samples. I don't want to work on the bench. I just want a computer and a desk. So these are basically desk jobs. So you could become an advisor. Very important jobs, like policy making. For example, advisors and consultant. In the government institutions, like say, for example, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health. So we have quite a few ministries.
And the great thing about New Zealand, international students can get government jobs. It's fine.
There is no such requirement that they cannot. They will be able to find a job. I mean, visa situation regarding the jobs. I mean, Immigration New Zealand website has plenty of information there. New Zealand government or New Zealand as a country, we are focused on primary health and also health of our fauna and flora. We want to protect everything, so that's why we have quite a bit of a focus on protecting them and making policies about them. So these are the jobs available in that area. But other than that, there are also jobs. Many people don't understand that the media need people with science literacy, science and biology literacy,
and can write things for the layman, for the common people that they can understand, which is really important.
Exactly, to communicate
science
that
communication.
Yeah, there is a big discovery happened just in science. Somebody just discovered a very cool thing which can actually change the lives of the human beings. How do you communicate to the lay public? For that, you need a knowledge of that. So Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences actually creates perfect foundation for that, because this is a multidisciplinary degree. You have knowledge once you finish this degree from different disciplines, so you can carry forward that
in the public health area as well. I remember that
time was the worst time for the misinformation and disinformation. People were everybody was like a scientist on TikTok, So we needed people who are literate in science, and like somebody who's like a BioMed graduate. So these jobs are available. And finally, there is one which has a lot of potential. If students are interested coming to New Zealand and finishing this degree and going overseas, like to US and Europe. So there are a lot of law firms, they focus on patents. So let's say I, as a scientist, discover something and I want to patent it. So for that, the lawyers need the knowledge of the science. So many graduates can be actually accommodated that in the law profession as well. So these are the desk job. A simple explanation: you don't have to handle the sample. Just sit on the desk on the computer and do the job.
And Otago's got a fabulous college of education, the oldest in the country too. So you could always segue into being a tertiary education or secondary education teacher, which is just as important. So it must make you feel good that you've got lots of options out there, Matt, when you graduate.
It's great knowing that I'm going to finish and I don't really have to worry about it, because everybody's going to want me.
Exactly, and that's what you want. That's what the parents want to hear too. I'm sure, mum and dad. Oh, and it even can take you to space.
Yeah.
My goodness gracious
one
me.
of our graduates went to space.
Wow.
This student did the reproduction, genetics, and development major, and this major focuses on stem cell technology.
Okay.
So this student actually did the master's in stem cell research, and then recruited by Axiom company, which sends rocket to space.
Oh.
So she traveled to space.
Went to the International Space Station.
So again, you need a fundamental knowledge of the biology. And for the scientific space exploration or something like that.
Awesome. Okay, so from graduates, let's bring you back into the university and let's just find out what it's like to be a student studying the Bachelor of Biomedical Science. A day in the life, almost. Matt, this image, this is of, probably brings you back to your memories of first year, being in these big lecture theatres.
Yeah, I've spent quite a few hours there.
Yeah, so the 15 minutes, is that right?
Yeah, so we have, so each paper has about 2 or 3 lectures per week.
Okay.
And each lecture is a 50-minute lecture. So there's a bit of like 10 minutes for students to go into different lectures. So that's
walk from one to the other.
One to other. And this is the image of the beautiful St. David's Lecture Theatre. I love teaching there. It's amazing to be there, standing there and teaching students. So we have very nice lecture theatres and teaching facility here.
Tutorials. So the tutorials, as part of a paper, as you were saying, you have 1 or 2 lectures and then a tutorial as well. So why would you have a tutorial? Do you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. So it's usually a senior student who has either done the paper before or they're higher up in the university, and they're actually just walking you through it and telling you what you really need to know, and just it's a more one-on-one approach as opposed to a lecture. And it's really nice because you sit in your lecture and the lecturers are great at explaining what you need to know. But sometimes you've got just a few more questions or just things that you want to know out of curiosity. And this is the perfect time to actually find out that piece of information.
Excellent. And so they're once a week? or?
It depends on the paper. Sometimes it's once a week, sometimes it's multiple times a week. I myself went to tutorials in first year, and now I have the option of actually running those tutorials. So I do those twice a week, and yeah, it's.
Do you get paid for that?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's a part-time job for you on campus.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, there's quite a lot of those with the university, and it's perfect because I get to reinforce my foundations, and yeah, I get paid for it as well. So
nice.
Not that bad.
And do you sometimes, academics can also?
So tutorials, so they're a great way to learning for students. This slightly another way, as Matthew was explaining. Just to add to what Matthew was saying, it's also self-directed for students. So they can go and learn themselves in the search in the library and come back to the class, which is tutorial class, and then put their point of view as well to the tutor. So it's not like in lecture, mostly it's one way, the lecturer is teaching and the students are listening. Tutorial is both ways. So it's more interactive.
Is it compulsory? Is there you take the roll to make sure everyone's there? Because I know some universities, like liberal art ones.
Yeah, so tutorials are actually very flexible. So some papers have all three components, which we're going to talk about labs next, but some papers have lectures, labs, and tutorials. But there are some papers that are purely tutorial based.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is a variety of things, but depends on the papers, as Matthew said.
Oh, look at that lab. Everyone's got iPads, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
It's great.
So how long would a laboratory be?
So in your first year, the labs are typically about 3 hours.
Okay.
But honestly, that's like the maximum amount of time. You can usually get them done in about an hour and a half to 2 hours. It's really good. Although I think staying there for the entire length of time is really good because like the tutorials, you can actually ask the people who are running the lab for help with the labs themselves, but also with explaining concepts to do with what you've learned in lectures.
Okay, and they have lab technicians to help the students as well as the lecturer there as well. Okay, so it's usually one paper is usually 2 lectures, a tutorial, 3-hour laboratory. That's quite. So what you expect students on that one paper? What about? 20
so
hours
tutorials could be optional. I mean, they're not all papers have tutorials, but because we are a health sciences degree, labs are the critical component of the paper. So what the students learn in the class, they get a chance to actually do that in the lab. So that's why we have labs. So majority of the papers we have in health sciences discipline, Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences degree, they have lectures and labs.
Okay.
But tutorials, some paper have optional, some paper have it. So it depends on the paper. And I think we always at Otago, we look after students so that their workload doesn't get very high in the week. And that's why, if you go back to the list of the papers described for each major, most students will not have more than 3 or 4 papers per semester.
Okay, 3.
And each paper has like a maximum 3 lectures, very rarely 4, very rarely 3, optimal 2 lectures per week, and 1 or 2 lab streams per week. Because of the size of the students, number of students in each papers can actually run into 100 and 200. So most of these labs are streamed into like 50 students or 40 students at a time.
Okay.
So they don't have to be there in all weeks. And also, these labs don't run throughout the semester. They run for 6 weeks.
Okay.
And then out of those 6 weeks, they are streamed. So students don't need to be there for all 6 weeks.
Okay,
so it's adjusted in such a way so that the workload can be managed, and then we don't want to give too much workload to students.
With these papers, and they're usually about 18 points, does the whole exam at the very end, is it 100%, or like lab work becomes a part of getting those credits so you can actually walk into the exam knowing maybe you've passed and you just
so that's one thing that I really like about the structure of all of these papers is that you go into the final exam and you've already got a significant chunk of marks already secured through all of the lab-based stuff.
Oh, great.
So if your strengths are with the theory, then that's great because the lab stuff enhances that. But if you're more excited about the practical side of things, then you get this and you go in and it's not 100% based on the final exam. So it's really a win-win situation in my eyes.
Awesome, great. And then finally, field trips. Are there field trips? Have you been on field trips?
Yeah, I've actually been on one this year. It was really cool. We got an opportunity to go to a place called Ag Research, which is doing the exact techniques that we do in the lab, but on an entirely different scale. So to actually go into that environment and see this is the kind of place that I could be working at in a few years' time was really eye-opening.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a third-year student of biomedical sciences at University of Otago. I'm currently doing a studentship at the Molecular and Cellular Anatomy Lab. I chose Otago because it is a research-led university, and there are a lot of new publications coming out every year in many different fields of study related to biology. When I was in school, I tried to work as much as I could towards getting into this university. So I worked hard in school in my academics and in extracurriculars. And then I talked to the international office about the application process and applied for the scholarships. And that's how I ended up here. I always wanted to actually be behind the scenes and be part of the research that's involved in the development in medicine. So I decided to do biomedical sciences, which is all about, finding ways to improve the health systems around the world and coming up with new technologies to improve that. I got the summer research scholarship when I approached one of my lecturers and asked him if there was any opportunity for me to gain some hands-on experience in the lab over the summer. So my summer research project is looking at the effect of social pheromones on metabolism and lipid depots in male mice. So for the project, we take the liver samples from the mice and we look at it under the microscope. We stain them and then we look at the lipid droplets and quantify it. We also extract the RNA from the liver and then express the genes using RT-qPCR. We can come up with different ideas and discuss them with other people openly without, any barrier. Be as proactive as possible and be open to trying new things. There is a cultural barrier, but it can be overcome if you are willing to actually talk to people around you and realize that there are support systems available throughout the university. It is a student town, and there are so many people your age who are in the same boat, so it's very easy to make friends and talk to people, and you'll feel at home in no time.
That was a really lovely video, and you did something similar, didn't you, Matt, where you had a summer internship
Yes, I
in the
did.
labs.
And the exact same thing happened to me. I approached one of my lecturers after a lecture that I personally found really, really interesting. And I said, hey, I'm really interested in this. What opportunities are there? And as a second year, I got a summer internship and spent my summer researching the very thing I was interested in.
Great. I didn't realise there were opportunities like that for undergrads, which is another probably point of difference with Otago, where larger universities in America, the UK, you want to get that opportunity till you're a postgrad. Right, so I think you've got a really good interest in biomed. So I'm really interested. I wish I had sort of done the degree now. So
never
okay. Oh, maybe I will.
Yes, you can.
Well, let's find out about the application process then. Okay, so we make it really easy at the University of Otago. It's all on our website. You go to the web page, type in biomedical sciences or Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences, and then click the yellow Apply Now button. Now, if you're coming from a high school, all we need to see is your passport. You can upload English proficiency test if you've done it. If you haven't, it's not a problem. And then we just need to see your high school grades, your official high school grades or your predictive scores to get the application process going. No SATs, no statement of interest is needed. We keep it nice and simple. There's no deposit, no application administration cost as part of your application. That then goes through to our admissions team and we turn around that offer or conditional offer quite quickly. But remember to press that submit button or it won't go to our admissions. So the applications are open for 2026. They'll close round about the 15th of November because we want to give you a nice time to then get your visa underway if you're coming for the semester 1 February. Otherwise, there's semester 2 July. That's more in line with the Northern Hemisphere school system. You would be coming in July and we take applications until the 30th of April. We can give you a conditional offer or in some cases an unconditional offer based on your predictive scores, because we realise that for some schools you don't get your final results even through till July, August. So it's the online system, we call it eVision, and we've got, if you need some help, you can contact us at international-connect@otago.ac.nz. So as I said before, we're just looking at your national high school certificate, depending on what school and what country that you're studying in. We also, of course, recognise the international qualifications of an IB, which is at least a minimum of 24, nice and easy. A GCEA A-levels, we look at your top 3 subjects, you need to get a score of at least of an 8, well, that's basically a CCC, and also approved foundation study certificate from Otago and from other New Zealand universities as well. Basically, see that QR code? Take a shot of that. That'll take you into the academics requirements page, and you just type in your country of where you're studying in, and it'll tell you exactly what we need from your high school. Our English requirements are an IELTS of 6, no band below 5.5, or a TOEFL 8, writing 20. We do accept other English proficiency certificates, and then for IB A-levels, and for some countries where it is all taught in English, there is no need for an English proficiency test. If you don't meet the entrance requirements, not a problem. We've got something for everyone. The University of Otago has their own foundation study certificate. It's a pathway program, and that is 8 months, and that will get you, once you've graduated from your foundation study certificate in the health sciences stream, that then allows you to start your Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences. And we also have English for those that don't want to sit that IELTS. You can come here first, do your English, general English, and sit an IELTS or a TOEFL, and then come in on your conditional offer. International scholarships. So the first one we have is the Vice-Chancellor's Scholarship for International Students. This is a value of $10,000. You don't need to do anything. It appears on your offer of place. Then we have the University of Otago Global Scholarship. So if you're a passport holder of one of the countries listed here, then you'll get a $15,000 tuition fee off your first year of tuition fees. Once again, you don't need to do anything as long as you've got university entrance into the Bachelor of Biomed Sci. This is unlimited. And then for those that are very high achievers, we want to reward you. And so if you've got a very high GPA, then you have the chance of not only getting the $10,000 or $15,000, but on top of that, another $35,000 worth of scholarship, which includes not only tuition fees scholarship, it's also money towards first year accommodation, university accommodation, and then $7,000 off your second year, $7,000 off your third year. These are competitive, and you're competing with other international students for this scholarship. And also for those that are coming through Pathway, we have a scholarship worth $5,000 for you. And then, of course, in your first year of your Biomed Sci, you'll get another $10,000 or $15,000 on top of that. Accommodation. So we have these fabulous accommodation owned by the university on and around the campus. We call them residential colleges because they're more special than just a dormitory. So, Matt, you lived in one, didn't you?
I did.
How did you find it?
It's absolutely phenomenal. I think one of the things that everybody is scared about coming to university isn't just the whole academics, it's how am I actually going to make friends? And this environment is supercharged just for that. So I came and I made all of my friends in the first week, and then it was incredible. And then my circle just kind of grew and grew from there.
Excellent. So you're now a tutor. You loved it so much, didn't you? That you've now become a tutor in one of the colleges. You're giving back, basically.
Yeah. They've got this really, really cool environment that they want to, even though it's a first year thing, but some colleges you can go for another year. They've got this really cool environment that they want to continue to support you beyond the first year. And part of that is actually offering you opportunities to come back and help, be that tutoring, be that providing support on open day, or just popping by to say hello.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, frequently asked questions. So we've had a few questions come in from you. Thank you so much. So the first one, oh, this is a goodie. What are the differences between the Bachelor of Biomedical Science, a Bachelor of Science, and a Health Sciences first year?
Yeah, so as I explained very early in the webinar, so Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences, or BBioMedSci, it's a broad interdisciplinary degree covering multiple majors, for example, anatomy, physiology, etc. A BSc is more focused degree on one major, for example, BSc in anatomy, BSc in physiology or microbiology. So it's a more targeted degree focused on one major. Health Sciences first year is basically a program run by Division of Health Sciences. So this is students who are interested in basically broadening their options going forward. So they in the Health Sciences division, which offers, in addition to Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences, BSc, also professional programs. So students, if they take Health Sciences first year, basically they are eligible for all these streams.
Okay.
They could apply for professional programs, they could apply for Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences, they could apply for BSc as well.
Okay, but really the Health Sciences first year, if you want to be a physiotherapist, a pharmacist, a medical laboratory scientist, a dentist, a doctor, you take the Health Sciences first year.
Yes.
But it can lead you into biomedical sciences. It can lead you into a Bachelor of Science, a biomedical. It is so flexible here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's fantastic. All right, another good one. If I've already started Health Sciences first year, what kind of, already said this, can I change to the biomedical science degree? Yeah, we've said
One
this.
word answer, yes.
Yes, yes, you can. Awesome. Can I study medicine through biomedical science? You sort of touched on this at the start.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Again, the short answer is yes. Once you finish your Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences degree, you can apply to medicine for graduate entry.
Okay, so then they'll be straight into second year medicine.
Yes.
5 more years.
5 more years, yeah. And interestingly, many students, they just want to continue to be biomedicine rather go into medicine because by the time they have learned so much about biomedical sciences or human systems, physiology, etc., they are more interested in broaden their knowledge, because medicine, as good as it is, as exciting as it is still a very narrow field in terms of the narrow career option. For many students, if you want to travel the world, if you want to explore your options and discover new things, research pathway is to them is very attractive.
And those doctors, they need the biomedical scientists to tell them what's kind of wrong with the.
Absolutely.
They're just project managers, really, aren't they?
Biomedical scientists discover things. Doctors just prescribe things.
Yeah. If you want to get that Nobel Peace Prize, become a biomed scientist. Don't become a doctor. And you'll be earning really good money while the medical students are still in medical school, yeah? So you probably come out better. Anyway, I'm sold. I'm sold on this program. Right. What is the typical workload? Oh, we talked about this as well, but I think let's go over it again, because I think a lot of students are a little bit nervous. They shouldn't be.
If anything, it's easier than high school, honestly. I think it's, you treat it almost like a 9 to 5, so like a 40-hour working week, which is really doable by the time that's including lectures, and then all of the lab work as well, that's including your labs. And then on top of that, that's just time for you to be reviewing the lectures, doing any assignments that may come up, or anything that is mandatory, like progress tests, for example. So it's really doable, and it gives you more than enough time to actually go out and enjoy the student town that is Dunedin.
So you can actually have a weekend?
You can actually have a life.
You can have a life as well.
Exactly, and still do really, really well at university.
An example, Matt. Okay, what resources and support services available to BioMedSci? So apart from, we've talked about the academics, we've talked about the tutors. What about even just outside of around the university, the support as well for students?
So there is the Social Impact Studio. That's the first that comes to mind, where if you actually want to enhance your leadership potential, there's an entire block of people who are specifically there to help facilitate that. There's a careers development, which I've been there quite a few times going, right, I'm doing this amazing degree. This is what I'm interested in next. How can I get there? So it's one thing hearing about all of these incredible opportunities, but how do you actually go on to get them?
Excellent. And disability services, there's the international support services team there for you. They become like your aunties and uncles as well. Are there clubs as well?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah. There's about every single club under the sun. It's phenomenal. Just one thing with the disability support, you don't actually have to have a disability to go and get help from them. So something like a concussion, that counts as being a disability, which I don't think enough people know. So you can go and you can actually get help if you're struggling with lectures due to whatever ailment you've got at the moment.
That's great. And they'll take notes for you.
So they do note taking for you. Sometimes it's just even putting you in touch with another student who can actually help you figure some stuff out. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Are there opportunities for students to collaborate with faculty members on research projects? Yes.
Yes. As Matthew said, that he did the summer research project. So that's the classic example. And then we just looked at the video. One student is doing summer research studentship. Yeah, so definitely.
Do you get paid in the summer? You get paid? I was expecting you to say no. You get paid as well.
Yep, it's about 10 weeks worth of pay, and it's honestly, it's more than you might be earning in a similar job where you need to work. So you get paid and you're doing research.
That's fantastic. Because in New Zealand, as international students, you can work 25 hours per week and then full-time in the holidays. And in New Zealand, you can work on campus or off campus. So these are on-campus opportunities for you. I think we've got time for just one more. This has just come in. Oh, this is a goodie. This is a great one to finish on. Graduating from a biomedical science degree, can I get a job in the biotechnology industry? We talked about lots of opportunities, but not biotechnology.
Yes, definitely. Yes, we talked about a little bit in the bench jobs. So in the bench job column, so some of the jobs could be in biotechnology industry as well. And right now, pretty much everything is biotechnology because dairy industry, meat industry, they're all using upgraded platforms, upgraded, for example, genetics is also a biotechnology. They are doing the breeding and creating, improved animals and all that. So definitely there are opportunities in the biotechnology industry here in New Zealand, as well as in Australia and elsewhere.
Okay, so because just so it's called a Bachelor of Biomedical Science, it has got biotechnology as part of it. You are learning about biotechnology. I think that's one thing that students don't understand. You don't have to take a Bachelor of Biotechnology. A biomedical science degree is technically a Bachelor of Biotechnology as well. Cool, one of those key words. Okay, well, we've come to the end of our webinar. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you learned a lot. I certainly did. Thank you so much, Matt, and thank you, Matlub, for being here. And also, if you want to find out more about this wonderful community and what it's like to study and live at the University of Otago in the city of Dunedin, please follow us on the following social media pages. We have lots of student sort of stories to basically show you what it's like to be here at Otago and studying and living with us. So thank you so much, and we're really looking forward to seeing you in person on campus. Thank you.